Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, Communications Director for the City of Las Vegas, David Riggleman. Coming up on this program, we tell you how new technology is helping to enhance the quality of health care within the medical district. And Councilwoman Tarkanian is nearing the end of her term. We look back at some of her major accomplishments in Ward 1. Of course, the Councilwoman who represents Ward 1 is our Mayor Pro Tem also, is Lois Tarkanian. Of course, she joins me now. Councilwoman, Mayor Pro Tem, great to see you. Thanks for being back on the show.
Good to see you too, Dave. Good to see you also.
For people that don't know, your term is coming to an end here.
Yes, it is.
In Nevada, you can serve 3 terms, 12 years. You got to serve a little longer than that because you filled a previous term of a previous candidate.
Somebody who was recalled, I filled, and so those 2 years were added on.
So all told, you will have served 14 years. That's a long time on the City Council. So you've done a lot.
I hope so. I've checked everything. I just feel we've made a lot of improvements. I feel good
We're going to talk about that today.
My staff has done an excellent job.
And so have you. The list is long. Of course, the primary election is coming up on April 2nd. If somebody in the ward gets a plurality, 50% of the vote plus one vote, they win the race. There are a lot of people running in Ward 1, quite a few candidates.
Yes, I think we have the most running, 10.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. So the odds of somebody getting the 50%, it could happen, but most likely,
it'd be hard.
It'd
be hard because we have some candidates that are strong.
Yeah. So we'll see. But if no one wins in the primary on April 2nd, then the 2 top finishers will go to the June election, June 11th. And that will be the general election on June 11th. Yeah. So.
Right.
Well, we'll have to see.
And I'm already packing up the paraphernalia that I've collected.
I know.
14 years. I'm trying to leave it so the new person will have all the books and things and information, and then the other stuff I'm taking out so it doesn't mess him up or her up.
I think you've left things shipshape, though, I have to say. So for those of you that don't know where Ward 1 is located, she knows it like the back of her hand because she served it for the last 14 years. But it's that area on the map with, of course, the big 1 on it. That is Ward 1. It's everything from just west of the downtown. It goes basically south of US 95, and then there's a finger of it that curls up toward Cheyenne, which is then south and west of US 95. If you live in that area, work in that area, then you're in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And of course, if you live there, then for the last 14 years, you've been represented.
Well, and I've told people if there are things that haven't been done that they've called about, we've tried always to do that. But sometimes something gets lost in the shuffle of everything. Or if something is up that they need taken care of soon, to be sure and call my office because we're trying to take care of all the last little things.
You are. A lot of times, Councilwoman, I've seen candidates kind of wind down at the end of their term. You're kind of just going as hard as you can to try to, take care of whatever needs done. Yeah. It's refreshing to see.
My entire staff is, and we just said we're going to tie the ribbon on it, and we feel good. We've worked hard. We really have, and I know when I first came, there are a lot of problems. We've tried to take care of them. Some you can't take care of. The homeless is all over, and
it's a big issue.
We've tried hard.
It's gotten bad. Yeah,
really bad all over, and safety, security, people breaking into other houses. They're just gangs that have come up from L.A. I think L.A., that's what I'm told. And they've just put a damper in Summerlin, in our area, all over.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
But those are things that are going to have to take a lot more than just the city working on. We're all got to work together, the county and, all the others.
That's been really one of your legacies, is getting everybody to work together, kind of drawing the different resources, the different components within the community, the different elements in the community to come together to solve communal issues.
Right, and we have, neighborhood associations. I believe our Ward 1 has more than any other ward, and these are not HOAs. HOAs are sort of make it easier for you if you're a council person because the HOA board takes care.
It has its own set of rules, and you pay your dues.
But these are families who got together, and I feel very proud that we've added 3 more this last year. So
for networking, communication,
right.
To solve common problems.
So they know what the resources are that the city has, and they know how to access them. That's important to know how to access them.
Well, for sure.
And then it helps them also to develop a communal feeling within their area.
Right. Well, Councilwoman, one of the huge legacies that you will leave behind is the whole Las Vegas Medical District. This is basically just west of the downtown. It's where the Ruvo Center is on Symphony Park, but it'll include the new UNLV Medical School, the location there on Shadow Lane. You had a town hall meeting a couple of weeks ago. Recently, the Clark County Medical Society, the various hospitals were involved. The thing that was impressive about this is just the progress that we're making in the medical district.
Right.
And the technology that we're going to see. Because the medical district will be new, some of the innovations with technology that will be introduced. And we see in the video you're looking at here, this is the meeting, Councilwoman there is making the opening remarks, but some of that equipment you see alongside of her, robotic surgery equipment, just incredible technology.
And what they're doing at the Ruvo Center, the brain studies, MS, Parkinson's, these are things that we are ranking among the best in the country. They're part of our medical district.
I know, Councilwoman, this was talked about at the meeting. There was the old joke that if you really wanted the best health care in Las Vegas, you needed to go to McCarran Airport and then fly somewhere else. But that is really, really changing. And I think that's the goal of what we wanted to accomplish in the medical district.
And it isn't entirely where we want it to be yet, but it will be. You know, you have to go slowly. I had lupus, didn't know what it was, 6 months, I think, and I couldn't get it identified. And then a doctor here sent me to UCLA. I mean, this was decades ago. And the doctor there immediately was able to identify it. Well, these are specialists. Now we have more people who deal with lupus. We don't have, I believe, a liver specialist. You know, we need the specialists here as well. So it's not that we don't have good doctors here. We do. But we need more of them, and we need to have more of the special diseases, you know, the ones that you don't really expect to get.
Right. I think the idea too, and I love this concept with the medical district, is to concentrate those medical resources in that same area.
Yes.
Very successful in other cities. For example, Houston, huge medical complex. If you need care, that's where you go. And I think that's kind of what we're trying to accomplish here in Las Vegas, that the academic medicine, the cutting edge medicine is going to be located.
Yes.
Not to say that we're not going to see great things at the area hospitals, but the cutting edge technologies will be in the medical district.
Well, they'll be in the medical district, and they'll come through hospitals that are located there and other places, so that we're working together.
Right.
That's the key factor, work together. And they've all been working together so wonderfully.
That's great.
The Medical Society, the university, and, you know, we in the city. And the city, I think, was the impetus for getting this going.
Yeah.
I've heard other people, I heard a regent say that they did it and something like that, but that's not so. It started with the city saying, hey, we're going to do something. And in Ward 1, we felt, let's do it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We got it going. We said, we're not going to just talk. We're going to walk and get it done.
Right. Well, and it really began in earnest with the Ruvo Center on Symphony Park, and with your leadership to get the new UNLV Medical School located
That's
within
right. That's
the
right.
medical district
To get
as well.
that medical school, because when you have that medical school, you get the residents, and we would get residents before, but they didn't always stay.
Right.
Some of them would come from. So what we wanted to do was get them involved in a top type of program and get them to know how wonderful Las Vegas was, so that we could keep some of the doctors.
Well, and interesting, some of the discussion we heard at the town hall meeting that we were just showing was the fact that we're growing a lot of homegrown doctors now,
Yes,
too.
yes.
These are people who are from Nevada, from the Las Vegas area, who then can go on to medical school and who will stay here. That's the idea.
And I will tell you, that was the idea of Dr. Barbara Atkinson, who's the founding dean. She thought, we have to keep them, so let's get, did your grandfather live here? Did you come visit a lot? Do your parents live here?
So there's some connection to the community,
Yes,
right?
so they
right.
understand Las Vegas and aren't as quick to leave. And you know, Las Vegas has changed so much.
It has.
And the medical field is doing so well now and working so hard. I was just amazed at the people that were at the meeting a couple of weeks ago, and the knowledge they had and what they were bringing, the robotic
Impressive.
operations
Impressive.
and things. Yes, absolutely. So
Well,
impressive.
You have definitely had a hand in making that all come to fruition.
I feel proud of that.
Yeah.
I feel really proud of that.
You
and
should.
you know, the need for it will not end now. It'll keep going and going and going for years still, because that's the idea, because there are going to be new things, there are going to be new ways.
You just got to get that momentum started. And
That's right.
That's what you've done.
And the city, I want to say, everybody's been so great, Public Works, everybody, in working so that we could get the right wiring for technology,
right.
So that we got streets that are safer and walkways that are safer for people who have illnesses.
Yeah.
They've done a great job.
They thought about it
Our whole city
from every
crew.
aspect, exactly.
Right, right.
Councilwoman, another wonderful legacy that you're leaving behind relates to the redevelopment agency. We have an RDA redevelopment agency that was mostly focused on downtown, but you, in your tenure on the city council, helped see that the redevelopment area was expanded to what we call the Area 2, kind of another area,
right,
kind of along the Charleston corridor,
right,
because there was some need of redevelopment.
Well, there was
along
a
that
lot
area
of
too.
need,
Yeah.
and my thought was that you can't just do downtown while the other areas are deteriorating. And
right.
I was very concerned. We did a great job downtown, but we had to look at these adjacent areas, not just Ward 1, but the 3 and 5 also. And so I did. That was a hard thing to get done. I have you to do.
It was rough.
But we did get it.
But I think your concern was there were a lot of boarded up businesses, for example, along the Charleston corridor.
Absolutely.
And the thing of it is by getting that redevelopment incentive plugged into those areas, not just in the downtown, we're seeing a turnaround, just as predicted.
That's right. And, you know, they still have the same little houses, but the houses look good, you know, and it's like they have done in some other areas that have kept the houses historically, but they have the businesses in them.
Right, right.
And we still have a lot to do, because it's an older district. We don't have big plots of land, you know, that you have big projects in. But it's done a good turnaround, and I expect it to continue. What's happened in the medical district, we're not going to improve just the medicine. It's that we're going to improve the whole area.
Right. And that's been what you've also done with this expanding the redevelopment area too. So
the person who takes my place better do a good job, because we laid it all out now for them.
For those that don't know how a redevelopment area works, you basically can give incentives for companies to come in to redevelop in that area.
Yes.
And it works because it financially makes the numbers pencil much better for these companies.
Right.
So it's attractive to come in and do it. And the benefit is the companies do well, the community does well, and areas that were deteriorating make a resurgence.
Adds jobs,
Yeah, so your ward has done very well with that. Like you say, work to come, but again, the momentum has begun, and that's really what...
Yeah, what happened is we got started, then we hit the recession, and that slowed us down, but and it will be done, I'm sure.
All right, good stuff. Councilwoman, we can't talk about your time on the city council without talking about short-term rentals.
Oh, gosh.
This was... Not to make light of this, but this has been a very, very controversial issue. You've got certain homeowners that want to be able to rent out their property to people on a short-term basis. You've got others who say you've put party houses, basically commercial businesses, in the middle of my neighborhood. My quiet neighborhood has now become, a bed and breakfast. Worse than that, a small hotel, if you will, and it's just turned into some really rowdy situations. So you have worked very hard to try to find that balance between homeowners' rights, but then the community's well-being and their rights as well. It's been a tough issue.
It's very hard if you've lived in an area, and I have areas in Ward 1 where people have lived there for 30, 40 years. Their children have come in there, and in a couple of cases, the grandchildren have come in. So these are people who respect...
Well-established,
and they respect the neighborhood and the ambience of the neighborhood. And so when you change it and I do believe that when you start renting out, you've got a business. Now, if you did it just maybe once or twice a year, but no, these people do it, and they make thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars.
It can be very lucrative, right?
Yeah, so we got the bill changed. I lost twice by one vote. And I won the last one by one vote. And I hear that the people who want to have short-term rentals are sending little notes to each other that they're going to wait until I'm gone. So we'll have to make sure the next person keeps up the fight.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Companies like VRBO, Vacation Rental by Owner, or Airbnb, have kind of promulgated this. It's become very popular around the country.
Yeah.
And I think, Councilwoman, your issue's always been, as long as it's not creating an issue for the neighborhood, but that was the problem. Especially, we saw this primarily in Ward 1. Some of these quiet, established neighborhoods all of a sudden had party houses that were going weekend after weekend after weekend. Bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, all types of things going on. And I don't think anybody would really want to live next to something like that night after night after night.
I've really researched this so much. I'm really kind of sick of it, to tell you the truth. But the fact is that now, you know, these Airbnb and other entities,
VRBO,
they're trying to take houses now and rent out rooms for office meetings and things like that. So once you start, you know, running out for a couple nights, now they're going to go into that. It'll add more people that have their houses, and that's business.
Well, Councilwoman, I think your point has always been that the city doesn't allow commercial ventures in residential neighborhoods. That's why the city is zoned the way it is, so that you're not having somebody running a business out of the house next door.
Right.
And I think your position has always been that these short-term rental properties are businesses.
The city calls them a business. Airbnb and all the others call them a business. I mean, all their printed material, they call it a business. So it's a business. I still can't understand how we didn't, you know, how our regulations didn't stop that. But you know, you have to respect the rights of the people who own property too. And that there are a lot of people who say, "Hey, I own my house. I should be able to do what I want with it." And you don't mind if I rent it out for a year. But the problem is that when you have a lot of people coming in every weekend, different people, you can't check them all out well enough. And that's a concern that the families have. And I think I fought for the families in that. I really do. And I felt for them. I really felt bad for them because of what was happening.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an interesting
thing to
continue
be fun.
to
I'll
watch.
follow that.
Exactly. Councilwoman, I love this too. You really did a lot to help beautify your ward. And one of the things, and this is a legacy that really has spread clear across the city, but the median islands, creating more walkable communities, but making the medians that people would drive through more attractive. It started in your ward with some of the sculptures that we saw within the medians
on the Valley View.
Yeah,
yes,
at Valley View. And that has spread now across the whole city.
I know.
Very popular. It's like, hey, this looks great.
Other council people saw it and they asked to have it in their ward. Really, that's what happens. And each time they do it, it gets better and better.
Well, I love what you did with this too, because you found the nice compromise between making it look very attractive, but then also saving water. We weren't going to just put a bunch of plants and trees and things in that would take water. Also, they would often get hit by vehicles and things like that. It was always a constant maintenance issue.
Right.
But what you created here with the help of our city departments was something very attractive. Water conservation was a key part of that. But it really did beautify those quarters.
It certainly did, and I love it when I go down. You know, we have areas that feel that the city does a whole lot more for Summerlin. They don't realize a lot of the Summerliner people are paying for that. And one of them made a remark to me, you know, well, why don't we get what Summerlin has? So I couldn't get the whole lot there because they weren't big streets, but we got little circles that had the metal sculptures in it and a few metal, and they loved it.
Yeah.
They were very
big
appreciative.
Hit. Well, and it's spread across the city. Like I say, all the wards now have these features in the median islands, and it really started with you. So
we're proud of that
Good
too.
stuff.
Very
Good
proud
stuff.
of that.
Councilwoman, I know something you're very proud of too is some of the legacy projects where old facilities fixed up. Garside pool.
Oh, yes.
That was an ancient swimming pool.
Oh my gosh.
That really needed attention.
And part of the Garside pool had to be shut down. The little pool that was next to it for toddlers had to be shut down because it wouldn't work. It was getting really bad.
It was falling apart. It was old.
And I had people before the time we got it built people in that area who had asked me to build it, but you know, Swimming pools are expensive.
They
And you
are.
have to wait your turn. So we waited our turn, but we got it.
You sure did.
We put a dinosaur theme on it because the dinosaurs used to roam
Right.
in that area near Garside.
You
And-
being the educator that you are, always wanted to, it's like, well, we're going to have fun, but there's going to be a learning element in this too.
Yeah.
So an opportunity to teach.
Well, that's what teachers do.
Right, right. The pool, I think one of the things that I was impressed with in your whole philosophy with the Garside pool is I think you understood that to do it right, it meant we had to close it down for a while.
Yes.
There was not going to be a pool within that area for a time while the renovation
It was
took
an entire
place.
year, a little bit
That's
over
a long time.
year. It is.
But rather than do a little patch here and a little patch here,
Right.
you just said, you know what, let's do it right. And you
Right. And you know what we were able to do? And this is because we had help from people, again, in our professional group within the city. We added Olympic length lanes. We don't have many here in the city.
Right.
Here we are in the middle of the desert, and we don't really have a whole lot of places where kids can practice swimming. When I was on the school board,
competitively, right, yeah.
I worked on one in the Northwest, and we got that. And we have UNLV, but you don't have many places. And so we couldn't do it all the lanes, but we just thought, you know, at least if you have a couple of lanes, kids can come here and practice. And we got that over there, as well as a beautiful water feature for kids.
Gorgeous,
Yeah.
gorgeous. And didn't stop there. You also did major renovations at Bill Breer Park, Gary Dexter Park, and Bob Baskin Park. All those old facilities that needed a facelift.
Oh, they did. They did. Bill Breer never was completely finished until we finished it
Yeah.
up. And we put a lot of things there. We did a good job in going out into the community and having people tell us what it was
Absolutely,
they wanted.
a lot of outreach. Yeah, you really
Yeah.
wanted to hear what people had to say,
Right.
what amenities they wanted to see within the parks.
That's right. And so we had, with our staff at the city, we had a couple of meetings with them and went over everything and tried to put in what they wanted to have. And Bill Breer Park was one that we needed to finish up the right way. And of course, Baskin Park, very old park, it needed renovation.
Sure did.
And when it was opened, although we had some delays in construction, once it was open, all the people there were so happy and pleased.
And I think, Councilwoman, I've heard you say this, by getting the community involved, that means people take ownership in the park. They're more apt to really look out for the park and to take care of it because they had a say in helping define what it was going to be.
That's right. That's it.
And that was a great strategy because that's what we've seen. People really take pride in their community parks because they were involved from the get-go in what it was going to look like when it got fixed up.
That's right. And when I have meetings, I remind them that, you know, this is your park. It's not ours necessarily. It's your park. And if someone's doing something wrong,
let us know. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We'll take care of it. Exactly right. Councilwoman, one of the great things that you did, again, we talked about how you drew different groups together to accomplish important things. A case in point is you involved the school district, CSN, College of Southern Nevada, and the city, aka our fire department as well, to create one of the most unique learning environments.
right?
We have a fire station across from Bonanza High School in Ward 1 that basically, it's a working fire station, but it also is a classroom where you can literally see through
Well,
the glass.
there is a classroom
Yeah,
right
yeah.
next to it, and the students in Bonanza sign up for classes.
Yeah.
If they want to be fire men or women, and they sign up for classes, and they take
Paramedics,
these
right?
paramedics. Yes, they take these classes. Well, there's the classroom right there, and the window where they can watch some of the fire personnel
Yeah.
doing their work,
Right.
and they learn from actually seeing. And then, of course, they can just go through a little door, and they can participate some
Correct.
with the actual material.
It's a great idea, very innovative. And again, you being a former educator, it just kind of all came together. It's like, what's better way to teach
you know-
someone than to show them how it's supposed to be done.
And Bonanza High is right across the street, and
The college is right there too, College of Southern Nevada.
that's right. It's adjacent to the fire station, and you know, you look at the needs. For example, the community college needed classrooms. we needed a new fire station. So they let us use that land. We gave them the classroom space that they needed with that what we built, and we did something that was sort of new in the country.
Surely was.
And you get they now get college credit, as I understand, and every year the classes are full. Yeah. They don't have enough room for everybody who wants to take those classes.
Yeah. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
It was a win-win.
And we as a city then get young people trained up to fill the vacancies within the fire department.
That's right.
So, fire departments.
And it doesn't take as long then for the training of individuals because they've had some of it already.
Save money there. That's right. Exactly right.
Kids get the units for it. I thought that was pretty good.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Councilwoman, we're running low on time here, but I did want to talk about a couple other things going on within your ward. Back on February 25th, you had senior bingo.
Yes.
Stella Fleming. These folks love to see themselves on TV. They watch Channel 2. Hello, there you are, everyone.
Yes.
You're on television. So.
I remember that you said you watched Channel 2, and a wonderful group of people, just wonderful group of people.
So thank you, Stella Fleming. Thank you for watching.
And in our senior homes, we have some that have a lot of activities for the seniors and some that don't have as much, but almost everybody has bingo. So
always fun.
Yeah, my mom used to play bingo.
Did
she? Yeah, I played it with her.
She's a shark. She did win a lot of games.
Just before she passed away, she did. Yeah.
It always works that way, right? So
before that, we weren't quite so lucky.
I don't know. Why does it work that way? I don't know. And Councilwoman let everybody know you have a shredding event and a drug turn-in coming in on March 23rd. Really important. It's tax time, everybody. So if you got those old forms you need to get rid of, especially stuff that has your social security number, your address, all that kind of thing on it, this is the opportunity to get rid of it. That's Saturday, March 23rd from 10 to noon, Clark High. You can also, old medication, bring that by. We'll make sure it's disposed of properly. That's right. And, even if it's a little bit of medication, don't throw it down the toilet. Yeah. It's bad for our water supply. Yep. You're throwing it down into water we may be drinking. Exactly, because the water that goes down through the sewer system goes into Lake Mead, it gets clean and comes back to our homes. So, whatever you put in the lake. And it's not that hard, to do it. And did we mention it's free? We'll take care of all this for free. So absolutely you're not going to pay a thing. Just bring your stuff. It's good to get rid of all those papers. I don't know how everybody else is, but I've got so many papers I'm drowning in it. We all do. And so I'm collecting all of mine. That's right. And again, it's free to the public. Come early because usually we have a lot of people show up. Their cars are lined up. So either come early or come toward the end and turn in all your stuff. So. And we try to make it where it's easy for you to get in and out. Exactly. So it isn't as time consuming. Correct. We work hard on that. Try to make it as easy as possible. So, well, Councilwoman, we're about out of time here. We want to tell everybody, hey, we always want to hear from you. So if you have something you'd like to share with Mayor Pro Tem Tarkanian, you better hurry because she's only going to be around for a few more months. Yeah. But you can always find her on Facebook. And if you leave a comment, we may use your post on our next show. You can also contact the Councilwoman just by picking up the phone, 702-229-6405, or send her an email. Her address is ltarkanian@lasvegasnevada.gov. She and her staff will get right on it. So they're working hard right up to the very end. We are. Yeah. And I'm telling everybody that, if something you called and we didn't respond, you know how it is. I'm sure, Dave. You know that sometimes there's a problem with getting the message through your switchboard thing. Sometimes there's a problem with the emails. But if that has happened, just call us again. Yeah, we'll take care of it. So, well, great job, Councilwoman. I'm thinking you're going to be back before we'll get to say goodbye to you. Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All I want is the best person possible to lead Ward 1. You fall in love with it. You fall in love with it, and it's like your little baby. Sure. So you just want someone to take over the baby. Yes, take care of it. Right. So, all right. I think we'll see you again. So. We want to thank you for joining us on this edition of Access City Council. Don't miss our next show beginning on March 21st with Councilman Bob Coffin. You can also catch all of our KCLV shows now on Apple TV, Roku, Hulu, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget, you can always watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. We'll see you next time around, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us.